Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Rebecca here. I'm at the library all by myself right now because the library's closed, but I still come in here sometimes so that I can get books for you. You can still ask us to bring books out for you to pick up or deliver for you. And also I come to get books for story time and do some other librarian things to make sure everything stays in order at the library. Well, tonight I'm here to tell you about a book I've read because I have this idea that since we're all spending a lot of time at home right now, we could tell each other about the really good books we're reading or the really bad books we're reading so that we save other people from reading them if we thought the book was really bad and it was just a huge waste of our time. But hopefully we'll mostly be positive here. So I have a positive review tonight for a book I read called Bob. And it actually was one of the DCF books this year, which is the award for books for 4th to 8th graders in our state, for those of you with younger children or who are younger children and you don't know about that yet. So I read this book online. I read it on the Libby app. And the Libby app has all the DCF books for this coming year too, which is actually even more than we have at the library right now. So you can log in there and you can ask for a book to borrow and read it on a device, but you can also call us, like I said. So back to my book review. The book I wanted to tell you guys about was Bob, and it was a really interesting book. It was by Wendy and Rebecca Stead, so it's two authors writing it together, and it's the story of a girl named Livy who goes to visit her grandma in Australia, who she hasn't seen for 5 years. So she hasn't been there since she was 5. I think she's supposed to be 10 in the story, and she hasn't seen her grandma or her grandma's house or even her grandma's country since she was 5. And so she's learning a lot about what happened to herself when she was at her grandma's before. And I don't want to give away too much, but one big thing is that there is somebody named Bob. And Bob is not a person, and in fact Livy isn't even sure who Bob is at first, and she has to try to figure that out because Bob wants to figure out if he has a family. And so she decides to help him, and I think he actually ends up helping her a lot too, is often how these things go in these books. So I'm not going to talk about too much else that happens because I don't want to give it away for you guys, but I thought this was a really fun, sort of fanciful book. It wasn't, some books can be so stressful to read, but it didn't feel that way at all. It was just sort of a fun read for the most part, and I really enjoyed it, and I'd recommend it for anybody. I don't think you'd have to be as old as 4th grade to enjoy this. Everybody's different, but I probably would read it to my 5-year-old if I had known that it would be sort of just such a fun and relatively easygoing book. I probably would have read it with my daughter. So I think anybody from possibly 5 all the way up to grown up might enjoy this book. So please share your reviews with us too. This is my review, but I hope that you guys will post some reviews too. And like I said, anybody can do it as long as it's about a board book or a picture book or a juvenile fiction book, or you know what, it could be about a graphic novel. As long as it's something that belongs in the youth library section, I would love to hear your review of it, and I thought we could share ideas with each other. So thanks for listening. I'll see you guys later. Bye.